Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back for more RWBY. Last episode was trash. It wasn't trash. The quality wasn't trash. It was just what happened was. So Watts rigged it so that Jacques won the election. Tyrion framed Penny for lots and lots of murder. She's feeling pretty bad about it. That was a bunch of Grimm attacking the town. So the good things that happened, there were a few, but there was a couple. Nora kissed Ren. Ren kissed back. So although I don't know what's gonna happen from there because of the attack. I don't know if he's gonna just be like, you distracted me. I was distracted, not you distracted me, but I was distracted. He might say she distracted him. I don't know. But it'll say that he was distracted by the whole thing, and that's why he didn't want to push the friendship any further than it is right now, and it has been, because he's afraid it'll distract him from the work. So hopefully they find out. I'm assuming that Robyn and them find out it was Tyrion, hopefully, considering what's in the intro, but we'll see.
Citizens of Mantle, following the most recent Grimm attack, a temporary prohibition of assembly is now in effect. There are to be no public gatherings of any kind. Please conduct your business and return to your homes before curfew. This is for your own safety.
Hey! Stop right there! Stop running! Wait!
Though military officials have gone on record to say the footage was doctored, many citizens are still insisting that the Protector of Mantle be deactivated.
Oh boy.
Civilian, you are obstructing an Atlas military operation. Please step aside.
Everything all right over here? Hello?
Does she have a semblance? Yep. Great. That's really cool, but crap. What?
This is the worst case scenario. More people are dead, Penny's been framed, and somehow Jacques Schnee is sitting on the council.
That's the second shipment for Amity that was hit today. It seems election night was the last push Robyn needed to go from hometown hero to full-on vigilante.
I'm afraid the problem is more complicated than that.
It seems Robyn has emboldened our suppliers in Mantle. They're refusing to sell us provisions until the city is adequately repaired. With Robyn redistributing the goods her team has stolen, the Amity project is completely stalled.
But we're so close. There has to be some way we can finish the tower.
There is. Declaring martial law.
Yeah, that always works out.
You're not actually considering that, are you?
What's more important? Establishing communication to unite the world? Or appeasing a few city blocks?
Don't make it sound trivial when you know it isn't. You keep talking about how we just need a little more time, but you're not the one having to struggle.
We have all had to make sacrifices for the greater good. Mantle has had to bear a lot of the burden, yes, but...
They're bearing all of it! The longer this waiting game goes on, the harder each day gets for people down there, and now you want to send in more soldiers? You can't force people to fall in line. If you do that, you'll just be trading all of these problems for the Grimm. Please, General Ironwood. Squeezing Mantle this way, that kind of division plays right into Salem's hands. That's why Tyrion is here framing you.
Right. The reason we called you here in the first place. You're sure this was the man you saw?
Tyrion Callows was accused of murders all across Anima. A homicidal maniac who escaped justice when his prison transport was attacked by Grimm. After that, he was never seen again.
Well, he works for Salem, and he's here.
If we ever had any doubts Atlas was Salem's next target, I think those are officially out the window.
But now we have a suspect. We can tell the people.
That a long-lost serial killer is loose in Mantle and the military has no idea where he is. Might make things worse before they get better.
I am so sick of secrets. If we just told everyone about Amity, about Salem.
We can't! If we talk about Amity now, we risk Salem's forces, who we know are here, working to sabotage it. If we tell them about Salem now, we risk falling to the Grim before we can reunite Remnant. We have to finish the tower. I want Robyn Hill in custody. We can offer her a deal if she gets Mantle to cooperate.
We'll figure it out.
Anyone not assisting with Robyn needs to focus on Tyrion. I want to know who he's working with, where he's hiding, what he's planning, and how exactly that video of Penny got all over my kingdom. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Looks like we're approaching 51st.
Thanks again for the assist on this, you two. Now, we may all be split between different trucks, but we need to be ready to act as one in case Robyn's team takes the bait. If your truck is hit, pursue immediately. Everyone else will move in as fast as possible. Going radio silent. Over.
Do you think we should have told Ironwood about Salem before he put so much on the line for Amity?
Sounds like you do.
I trust RWBY, but I think he deserves to know what he's stepping into. We all did. You don't agree?
Look around. The embargo, the military presence, the restrictions on assembly. He's a bit prone to overreacting.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Still, he didn't have a lot of good options.
I'm not sure there are many good options left for any of us anymore. Keeping secrets, taking lives, it makes you wonder how far we're going to have to go to keep doing the right thing.
Blake, we did what we had to do.
I know, but next time, I want to make sure we don't have to. And I can tell you, ambushing a huntress who's just trying to help isn't an option I'm thrilled about choosing.
Then maybe we shouldn't.
How is she doing?
She's confused, scared. We'll have her recorded visual data shortly. That should prove her innocence, but the damage has already been done. The things people are saying about her? If Penny hadn't been there, Robyn would be...
I don't think Robyn was their target. Salem's goal has always been to divide us. I think Penny was exactly where they wanted her. Just like at the Vital Festival.
And just like back then, someone is using our own technology against us. This doctored footage of Penny came from her work all around Mantle. Stolen straight from our surveillance network.
Ugh, hacking. Technology. Oh, why can't people just do what they used to and fight to the death? A lot simpler if you ask me.
Well, if we're dealing with the same enemy from Beacon, hacking into Mantle's system would be simple. Fortunately, the rest of Atlas is running on an upgraded network.
And how would someone get access to that network?
Well, only a few people have clearance. Ironwood, the Council, our cybersecurity and surveillance leads, and maybe a select few who oversee critical systems like sewage or the heating grid.
The heating grid run in partnership with the Schneedas company.
What are you thinking?
I don't know yet, but something isn't right.
Understatement of the century.
And how are you doing?
If Maria hadn't offered to help me these past weeks, I'd have likely collapsed by now. Getting a communications tower into the sky seems impossible on its own, but now, to think of what people want to do to my girl.
Even if the worst does happen, you can always reactivate her again. So maybe try not to worry so much.
There's a reason why Penny is the only one of her kind.
Was she human before?
When the General first challenged us to find the next breakthrough in defense technology. Most of my colleagues pursued more
Is that Watts?
Obvious choices.
That's Watts.
I was one of the few who believed in looking inward for inspiration.
Stupid undersuit.
You wanted a protector with a soul.
I did. And when General Ironwood saw her, he did too. Much to my surprise, the Penny Project was chosen over all the other proposals.
Why would you be surprised? You created an artificial aura.
Not quite.
You gave her part of yours?
Yes. And each time I rebuild Penny, it takes a little more. If the people get their wish and she's destroyed, I won't be able to...
We'll find whoever's responsible. I promise.
Transition. Not what I thought it was, but...
Robyn.
Scramble! No, wait! Split up and regroup at the hideout!
Dang it.
Please stop! We just want to...
Oh, whoa. That's so cool.
If Ironwood wants me, he'll have to send more than a couple of kids.
He is. Stopping the trucks alerted the ASOPs. We don't have long before they arrive, so please listen to us. You need to know the truth.
You're stalling.
Amity Coliseum, all these supplies, they're for a new communications tower.
That doesn't make any sense.
A new tower means the kingdoms can
I know
finally...
what the tower means, fisticuffs. One of you take my hand.
What?
You said time is short. Either take it, or I'm
She
gone.
can read thoughts or see memories or what? Fun?
Tell me again. What is Ironwood building out in the tundra?
She can tell the truth, or see the truth.
A new communications tower. He's trying to help everyone.
You're telling the truth.
Cool.
Handy semblance.
Why keep that a secret?
Because he doesn't know who he can trust. Atlas isn't out to get anybody. The people murdering civilians in Mantle are just trying to make it look that way. And if those same people learned about Amity, they'd do everything in their power to destroy it.
So who are they? Who's actually behind this?
Yang, Blake, where are you?
We can't tell you that part yet.
Bullshit.
Look, we are trusting you, so trust us when we say that Amity Tower needs to stay a secret until it's done. We just need a little more time.
Run! We'll throw them off!
I won't stop until I know the whole truth.
Man, we told you a good portion, I think.
It's right behind that door.
The Staff of Creation.
I hoped bringing you down here might jog some memories. After all, it was your idea to use the staff to lift Atlas off the ground.
I thought gravity dust kept Atlas afloat.
That's the public story. But with the staff, we have a constant, seemingly limitless energy source. Oz once speculated it could take us as high as we wanted. To tell you the truth, that served as the inspiration for the Amity Project. Get a communication tower up in the sky, higher than the Grim can survive. So we never lose contact with each other again.
But you're not using the staff to raise Amity.
The staff can only be used for one purpose at a time. We're going to have to do Amity the old-fashioned way, dust and all.
It feels strange, knowing a part of me helps come up with all this.
You'll get used to it, I'm sure. Eventually, you won't even know who's who anymore.
Right.
We did know we see eye to eye, but I wish I could ask Ospen what he thought of all this.
Well, I can tell you what I think. The path you're heading down, where you're the only one with the answers, where you do the thing you think is right no matter the cost, it's not going to take you anywhere good.
We have to stop Salem. Nothing matters more.
Some things matter more, I think. Keeping our humanity. It's what makes us different from her.
Sometimes I worry that's her greatest advantage. Without humanity, does she still feel fear? Does she ever hesitate? When Salem hit Beacon, even with all my ships, all of my soldiers, I was no match for her. I've never felt so helpless. The way she told me she was there.
It's okay to be afraid. You just can't let that fear control you.
I am not going to end up like Lionheart. Do you believe in me?
I do believe in you. But not only you. I think the best thing you could do is sit down and talk with the people you're most afraid to.
Now you are starting to sound like him. Winter, what is it?
Jocker. Or is Winter?
What's going on?
It looks like you're getting your wish.
My father's first act. We've all been invited to dinner, where the general will be defending his seat on the council.
Well, probably, I didn't see what happened after. I was kind of wasn't sure if they were gonna show the attack or we're just gonna jump over that. Okay. We didn't really necessarily go into how Ren felt about the whole thing, but kind of more so indirectly. Whenever Ironwood got on their cases, kind of giving them the order to do what was needed and to kind of, I guess, track down Robyn and arrest her. Everybody was, they're, saying yes, sir. Then it kind of, when it focused on Ruby and Nora, you hear yes, sir, and then it cuts to Ren. Like the only one of their group that, they're the only ones there, I guess. I don't know if Yang and them, because I think this was just basically like right after taking care of, I'm assuming after the Grimm. So it was just those that were there. So that would have been, Nora, Ruby, and Ren. I'm trying to think if anybody else was there. I know Penny was, but she was in her room. Sorry. Yeah, I haven't seen Nora get like that in a minute. Man, she was fed up with Ironwood. Not just Ironwood, but just, having to keep secrets from Ironwood, from the people of Mantle, and feeling like the secrets are more so just hurting everybody than doing anything good. I did not think about giving someone their aura to create Penny. And in that sense, he really is her father. Like, a part of her is with him. Part of him is with her. Sorry. Like, a part of his soul, essentially. And when she died, she did die. When she was broken, her soul, like, it wasn't still there. It left. He had to use more of his own aura to bring her back. So yeah, it was a big deal when it happened. Because I know some people when they watch it, they're just like, well, she's a robot. I mean, I know she had feelings and everything, but I mean, she could be brought back. And yeah, until she can't. Because he can't. He says he can't do it anymore. He's essentially every time he does it, he's closer and closer. He's shortening his lifespan. He's pretty. I'm assuming. I don't know if it was what brought him there, but I'm wondering if giving her pieces of his ore every time, if that led to him in that chair, him losing the use of his legs. But I don't remember who it was. I think it was one of the two that we saw the first in episode 5. Maya and the other one, can't remember their names. Joanna. I don't remember which one it was, but she has a cool semblance. She's like basically created an illusion field. I can't remember. I read that similar to that in a book somewhere where they can basically create an illusion that just surrounds the whole area, not just a small, just like not just on you or a small bit. She, shrouded essentially the crossroads, covering up it wasn't just, not only that, it's not just unless they were just really quiet about it, but it wasn't just like physically. It's like I think it might have kept the sound inside as well. I could be wrong with that. Again, they could have just taken them out quietly, but and then what was her name? Crap, didn't write her name. But Time. I think her, did she like disintegrate her, or did she like kind of put it like in a pocket dimension kind of thing? What was like she like separate it molecularly and then kind of like store it inside her or something? Like what exactly is her semblance? That was cool too. That's really helpful when like if you're like transferring supplies or if you're moving. Can you imagine? So much easier to move. You can just, all right, we're good to go. God, that'd be so helpful. Okay. And we didn't really, since we came back, we haven't really dealt with Blake and them, like how she felt about killing Adam, because I'm trying to think if they've ever like killed a person yet. I mean, I know we see them fighting the bad guys all the time, and whenever RWBY was using her scythe, you'd always see like the petals or the red going. I don't know if that was supposed to be blood or petals, or if that was like just them kind of like trying to not show gore. They've always severely injured people, bad guys obviously, or others when they were in the tournament. But I don't know if they've actually killed someone. Either way, she was obviously, we haven't seen her be necessarily show how she's been affected by that, and you can see we saw a bit of that this episode, talking about like she doesn't want to just do that. She doesn't want to have like, I mean, they're not Ironwood didn't say to do that, but she's like, she doesn't want it to lead to that. She wants to do whatever she can to keep from going down that road again. Luckily, they were able to at least talk to Robyn. She was able to realize that Ironwood is trying to help, and he didn't cause what happened at the rally. So that's at least that point where she now knows, because I was saying from the intro, that they have to know, they'd have to know eventually in this volume. I'm assuming throughout. I was assuming that it wasn't Penny, wasn't Ironwood, that Tyrion was responsible, because they show her and Crow fighting together against Tyrion, which is gonna be interesting, because I don't know how it's gonna because every time Crow tries to fight alone, so that he doesn't affect the other person, any ally, with his bad luck. So hopefully that won't happen. But that's a pretty useful quirk, and especially in interrogating, she was able to tell when someone's telling the truth or not. So I guess it would flash red if she were lying. I mean, it's situational. Like, you have to be holding the person, and they're not fighting you. But if they're willing to go through that. I mean, that's a very easy way to maybe not necessarily trust them, but at least gather that they're not lying to you. So that's helpful. Kind of cut through all that drama. And what's good is I'm glad it's kind of happening somewhat quickly that Weiss is kind of suspecting her father of being behind it. That she's, that the way they could have jumped onto the system to record Penny and send it out, and possibly effective voting is somebody connected to the Schnee company, and who would benefit the most from all that? Her father. And the fact that he got the election is a very huge indicator, especially considering right after he made the announcement, his numbers were not good, and then they were very quickly starting to even out. I saw whenever they first showed us at 30, I'm like, okay, so that guess maybe he was told by Watts to throw it, and that something this would affect Ironwood. And then there was a 33. I'm like, okay, well, it's not bad still. Maybe there's still those certain people. And then we saw it continue to go higher. I'm like, oh god, Watts is doing something, or this was the plan. But I'm pretty sure Watts was affecting the numbers. I'm hopeful that Weiss, with the rest of the team, will be able to figure that out within the volume, or at least be able to. I'm pretty sure they'll find it out within the volume, but I mean act on it and successfully not take out necessarily, even though I wouldn't be upset, but deal with her father. But I mean, there's a volume 8, so I don't think that probably won't be resolved fully by the end of this volume, because we can't do that. Maybe it will, and then we just more have to deal directly with maybe Ironwood will find out about Salem. Maybe he'll turn it on them because of that, or maybe we'll now go for Salem after. I don't know. Obviously we'll see what happens by the end of the volume. So, big thing found out is that the Staff of Creation is what's holding Atlas in the sky. That's not foreshadowing at all. I mean, luckily they have a bunch of ships here, because I feel like that's going to be needed to evacuate the whole entire city before it comes crashing to the ground. But I don't know how high it is. I don't remember. I remember it being pretty high. I just don't remember how high. That's going to be bad. I don't know if they would go that route, like the show, writing-wise. I mean, obviously, that's one of the reasons why Tyrion and Watts are there. I just don't know if they'll succeed. I hope. God dang, man. I mean, it would be really. It would work well writing-wise, but that would really suck. A lot of people would die. Even if they evacuate the whole entire city, if they, by some chance, are able to evacuate the whole city, anybody surrounding on the ground, that would have a wide area. If that large of a mass falling and hitting the earth, the ground, and from that high. Again, I don't know how high it is, so that would also add to however much damage that would cause. But, dude, freaking Oscar, man. Kid's coming up wise as heck right now. He's learned so much in this short time. I'm assuming some of it has, I don't know. Some of it might have to do with, Oz being part of him now. Not sure. I know because I know Oz has locked himself up now, so I don't know if he still has kind of access to any of that. Because I know they're supposed to be slowly melding over time, their soul becoming one soul. So I don't know if that's adding to that, but because I know that he could just be coming down on his own. But I don't know. I don't know if Oz locking himself up affects the whole souls merging thing. Don't know. But a lot of what he was telling Ira, it seemed like he was definitely affected by it, or he heard it, and it was kind of hitting him. And then that one thing he said before, when Ironwood was saying, you really are starting to sound like him. I a lot of those was really good advice, especially that one line where he said, when you do what you think is when you do what you think is the right thing, no matter the cost, it won't take you anywhere good. Like, that kid, man. I really hope he can help Ironwood. I don't want Ironwood to get mad at Oz/Oscar and take it out on him. You know, again, I don't know if the intro was supposed to be, you know, him training Oscar or them actually fighting because he finds out that, hey, as far as I know, can't actually kill Salem. I don't want it to go that route, but I can see it easily going down that way, especially with, again, the way as Blake had pointed out, how volatile Ironwood can get whenever he's unwound, I guess. And great thing, Jacques has invited them all to dinner to defend for Ironwood to defend his spot on the council. So, you know, I was wondering that's going to come into play. About as quickly as I expected, honestly, but I was just hoping it wouldn't. I honestly was a little surprised he wasn't just thrown out. I mean, I didn't know how it works in here, so I'm glad he at least gets a chance. But I think it's just going to be him, right? Or is he going to have other council people there? Yeah, I guess we'll find out next episode, amongst other things. I don't know, like, what all it's going to go into. Whether it's going to go into that. It's probably going to show, like, go back forth between that and tracking down Tyrion, trying to find him. Not necessarily track him down because they don't necessarily have a trail right now. So that's going to be fun. And then we got to worry about them, you know, shutting down Penny. I said this last episode. It was the last episode or the episode before. I think it was the episode before. They can't kill her again when they had just brought her back after her being gone, killed in the 3rd volume. I refuse! That's it for this week's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button. If you want to stick around, if you want to see next week's episode early, go ahead and hit the... I'm in trouble. Go ahead and check out our Patreon. You can see all the early access stuff there. Hopefully, keeping up with that. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you guys next week.